Hey, what's up, guys? This is Adam from Rescue Michigan, and tonight we've got a special guest. This is Logik, who's got his own YouTube show, and he's been covering Michigan politics. In fact, when we did a few videos covering the stand-up rally in Lansing, it was actually his footage that we were using just because we were looking for the footage. I didn't take any recording of it, and that's when I first saw you, and then and eventually discovered your channel. I've been checking out some of your videos, so we just wanted to say hello and connect and share your channel with our viewers and kind of talk about things. So, and with me tonight too is Shane Trejo, of course, from Rescue Michigan. So he's here as well. So, Logic, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you involved in politics? And I also am curious about your YouTube channel too and how you got that started, because it's been kind of an interesting journey for us. We'd never done anything like this before this year, and now we're both making lots of videos. But you're beating us, man. You're putting out multiple videos every day, it seems like.
Oh yeah, man. Well, first of all, thank you for having me, and it's a pleasure and an honor. And yeah, I just been, putting out videos, all about spreading the truth, all about spreading the gospel. And I started my channel just interviewing people about their testimonies and their walk with the Lord throughout life, their journey, and how it's been, the ups and downs. And that's what my channel started out on. The first 20 or some interviews were just unashamed children of God from all over the country, not just the state. And I always been pretty well versed in politics. I started studying, deep studying, like about 14 years ago, and was woke up to the ugly truths of what's really going on in society. But I grew up in the Bible. I wanted to be a minister since I was little, but it was a lot of questions that I still had after graduating and in my early adulthood years. So I couldn't confidently go preach some if I still had a lot of questions. So I prayed for wisdom and discernment, and a few years later, I through music, I started studying into a lot of deeper subjects and topics, which you know, I had a revelation. I realized, a lot of this evil stuff that was going on had been told to us for a long time in the Bible. And I made the connection and woke up to, the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminati, these secret societies, and all that. Woke up to that a long time ago, and how they were deceiving and enslaving humanity.
Yeah.
So I've been, trying to wake people up to this stuff, to a lot of stuff for a long time. But now a lot of stuff is just coming up to the front door, where a lot of people waking up, and it's been a lot of people fighting the same fight. And about a year ago, I really got active locally, started recognizing the the need and the impact of local action,
Absolutely.
and started getting involved. And ever since then, couple videos went viral, and just been doing it more and more. Citizen journalism, always been interested in that. Went to school for it a little bit, and just like you guys, I'm new to all this, and just stepping up to the plate because our mainstream media, of course, is failing us.
In amazingly so. I mean, as you had said, and myself, and I think probably Shane too, originally kind of got put on to what the deep state was really all about some time ago. But you're right, man. I mean, it's at our door now. Like, I was just watching Tucker's show covering this latest disaster in Afghanistan, and at this point, people are openly even just saying, I mean, well, at least in some parts of the mass media, even just openly saying, you can't even believe this was a mistake, that they didn't even think to get the people out of Afghanistan before they pulled the military out. And this entire disaster almost seems like the military industrial complex wanted this to happen. And it's so out in the open, it's so in your face, it's just unreal. But you mentioned organizing locally, so whereabouts in Michigan are you from?
I'm on West Michigan, over on the coast, by Mason County, Oceana County.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, it's beautiful over here, but it's a lot of corruption over here, just like it is all over Michigan and the country as well. So, you know, um, fighting against that, exposing that, we all have civic duties to be involved and informed and engaged. And I'm just honored to be leading the way in my community. We all just doing what we supposed to be doing pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things at Rescue Michigan is in telling people you got to organize locally, because there's people everywhere that are seeing what's happening in this country, and they got to get connected to the other people in their neighborhood, because politics is so geographical. It's like, I can't control who's going to be the next nominee for state rep in Oceana County. I did hear you mention Scott Van Single, who, by the way, is one of the dumbest members of the state house. And I can't wait for him to be gone. But I hope you guys go out and hit some doors and find someone who's the right candidate for that seat, and maybe someone with an IQ over 85 or so, because that would be an improvement. I'll tell you, Scott Van Single, I remember back when he first got elected, the House Republicans were trying to pass this very, very small tax cut, and they got just enough Republicans to vote no on it to defeat it. And they ended up calling them the Dirty Dozen, and Scott Van Single was one of them. But like 7 of the others ran for something and lost their race that next year. 7 of them, like one of them got beat in the primary. I think 4 of them lost the primary for the state senate, and the other 2 got beaten in the general for the state senate. And I was so happy when that happened. I was like, that sent a message that you rhinos aren't going to get any farther if this goes on. But Van Single, he slipped through the cracks, and he's still in office and termed out now. But yeah.
So Logic, doing citizen journalism, what do you think has been the most important or interesting story that you've uncovered doing your work thus far?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to put my finger on it. I've been pretty well versed in like national and global politics for some years, for a long time. But as far as focusing in on Michigan and all that, I'm new to the Michigan politics, so I've been learning a lot and aligning with people who know a lot and really trying to get like a crash course on what's going on in our backyard. Of course, I know it's corruption. I know, it's a swamp, but learning the details and all that has been a quick journey, and it's been exciting. Been figuring out a lot real quick.
Yeah. I think Lori Pranger, do you know her? She's one of our members, and I think she was involved in helping her county party pass a resolution calling for Ed McBroom's resignation, so we were pretty happy about that. Does that name ring a bell?
Yeah, Lori, yeah, that ring a bell, and I just been out here exposing, the corruption and the rhinos, the swamp creatures. I done called a few of them, and I done spoke with a few of them. Actually, this weekend, Sunday, we having it's a Republican committee meeting up in Manistee. It's about 45 minutes away, and Kurt Vanderwall is supposed to be there. Jack O'Malley, Jack Bergman, Matt DePerno, Bill Bailey, all supposed to be there, and whoever else. So I'll be in there. But I've spoken with Kurt Vanderwall multiple times over the phone, through email. He's a senator in Mason County, the neighboring county to me. So he knows who I am. So I'm looking forward to seeing him and talking to him face to face. And
yeah.
Jack O'Malley's heard of me too. I've called him, and a lot of them, man, they just say the same old stuff, man. And bad that these people, so many people like this in elected positions.
Yeah, all they like to do is make excuses for themselves, and here's why we couldn't do it this time. Here's why we couldn't do it that time, and it just goes on and on and on. All they want you to do is accept it and leave them alone. And we're about not leaving them alone. I want them on record. They're gonna face the voters next November. And if they're in support, if they're condoning lockdowns, if they're condoning, well, what's on my mind right now, and maybe this is a good segue into this, is that a federal court just sanctioned all of the lawyers in various Trump lawsuits, and what a disgrace that is to the legal profession. Unfortunately, it was a federal court. If it had been a state court, I'd be calling for the lawmakers to call for to impeach these judges, frankly. I mean, the devastation to our legal system. A lot of people don't know this. That's one thing that I haven't seen one lawmaker have the nerve to do yet, and that's to impeach a judge. Like when they first get elected, they're told, by the way, because they've got these two agencies. There's this one agency that writes the bills for them, right? And then there's another agency called the Research Bureau, and they're just supposed to answer their questions. And they're also the agency that will write their resolutions. And so with the orientation, they'll tell them, by the way, we're the ones that write articles of impeachment, and you can impeach a governor or a secretary of state or any state judge, by the way. And as soon as I heard, they're like, I wonder, but they're all too afraid to. And it's amazing. Like we thought there was checks and balances, and that's one of the tools the legislature has when judges are totally out of line, is they can impeach a judge. But I haven't seen any articles of impeachment against one judge yet, but I don't know. Maybe someone will stand up and impress us.
Yeah, it definitely would be nice if the legislators learn to do their jobs. But yeah, I've been learning a lot and enjoying it, and definitely want to keep going, and I see y'all channel and everything, and this is what we need, true patriots, true children of God to step up and put the truth out there for people. So, like I say, I thank y'all for inviting me on, and I definitely would love to bring y'all on. And I think we need to all, network to some capacity. We all need to work together in Michigan for sure, citizen journalists, to get the news to the people of our state.
Yeah, are you on other channels besides YouTube, by the way? Because we're looking to get off of YouTube, or at least we have a Rumble channel that we copy our videos onto, but obviously all the stuff we talk about, election integrity and health freedom and things like that, YouTube is actively censoring, and we really want to get off that. Part of the problem is, I don't know if any other platforms got live chat going yet, and that's one thing that we're really hoping we can start doing soon, because we love having a live audience and people being able to interact. But are you on other social media? Do you use any of the other platforms?
Yeah, I'm trying to branch out and on multiple platforms. I like Locals is one that I've been trying to grow on. I'm on Odyssey and Rumble and Getter and Gab, trying to, whichever one starts to take off and gain the most traction. But Locals, I don't know, are y'all familiar with that platform?
I just created a Locals account. We don't have anything there yet, just a couple of videos, but we got to start putting stuff on that site too. Yeah, I really do like Locals, and a lot of the people I watch on YouTube are branching into Locals too. I think that one's going places.
And from what I've seen, Telegram is probably the best social media provider where you can distribute your information, your content among like-minded people. It's really a great way to keep informed and keep people informed. And I think that's going to be the one that I've seen, at least, that is above the rest in terms of its ability to allow journalists to get the word out and allow activists to network and form rallies and do political action moving forward.
I like Telegram. I'm on Telegram as well, and a lot of the citizen journalists I follow, they try to utilize as many as they can, because it's so much censorship. But yeah, Telegram is definitely a good one. Locals was created for to make it easier for citizen journalists and their supporters to interact and to be supported and to support them. So a lot of people are going to it, and I just started on it, but I'm on Odyssey and Rumble too. YouTube, they got me partially suspended on YouTube, so I don't have no access to my account, except I can go live on my phones for some reason, and I take advantage of it.
Oh, right on. Is that what you usually do? Is you use your phone?
Yeah, I use my phone, or I use Streamlabs and Discord.
Oh, okay.
to do my live streams. Yeah.
Yeah, we're using Streamlabs OBS right now. That's what I'm using, but I'm open to to other suggestions. I couldn't get Streamlabs to do multi-streaming yet, so I don't know. We're all just playing it by ear. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys this story. This just came in today. This is from, hold on, this is from the Secretary of State, and they're all proud of this. Wednesday's ruling from U.S. District Judge Linda Parker granting sanctions against attorneys who participated in quote-unquote baseless election lawsuits made clear the lawsuit represents a historic and profound abuse of the judicial process. The judge cited sanctions for Sidney Powell, Lynn Wood, and then several other lawyers. Some of them I don't know from other states, but then from Michigan, Scott Hagerstrom, Greg Roll, and I'm going to mispronounce her last name, Stephanie Quintilla, maybe? It's spelled with a J, so I'm not sure how she pronounces it. But these were the lawyers that filed the lawsuits right after the election. And she ordered them to pay fees and costs incurred by state defendants in the city of Detroit, and refers the decision to the Attorney Grievance Commission for sanctioning. And of course, the governor, the attorney general, and the secretary of state are all praising this as if this isn't the destruction of the legal system as we know it. I mean, this is a foundational American right to have an attorney that they're going after here. And it's absolutely shameful.
Yeah.
I hope they appeal this.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. And a lot of stuff they do just to distract, just as distractions from what's really going on. And yeah, so I don't know how far that's gonna go, you know, because they doing what they're supposed to be doing. The lawyers, Sydney and them.
Yeah, I mean, I think what they were saying in some of the lawsuits was that some of the witness statements weren't good and they weren't properly vetted. But in the timing that they had, where they had to get a lawsuit filed like right that day because they only had a couple of days before, you know, the inauguration. I mean,
right.
what's going on here is going to impermissibly chill free speech. It's going to impermissibly restrict people's ability to find lawyers. I mean, that's one thing they were talking about with Trump was that he couldn't find a lot of lawyers to represent him in the impeachments because all the big corporate lawyers didn't want to be associated with it. And this is so profoundly dangerous. So I hope they appeal it as far as they need to, even to the U.S. Supreme Court, even if just to get it in front of the court's attention, that this is a war on the basic rights that we have to free speech and to attorneys. And I'm sure it's not going to get any news coverage because it happened on the same day all this stuff in Afghanistan happened, but this is a big story, and this is very, very dangerous. So, anyway,
yeah,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying I agree.
Yeah,
I'm real interested on what's going on in Afghanistan. I haven't been able to research because I've been so busy doing news myself. But what do you know about what's going on over there?
Well, you know, as you say, we're busy with our own projects too, and mostly we're talking about getting involved in health freedom and vaccine stuff. So I only know what I've seen on the news. But I mean, the story today, of course, was there was this massive suicide bombing that killed, I think, 13 U.S. servicemen. It's an absolute disgrace, and that's going to be a scandal. I mean, the withdrawal from the beginning has been a complete disaster. And personally, you know, I've supported us getting out of that country for the past 20 years now. It's all a big scam. It always was. Yeah. They had no reason to be there in the first place.
Yeah, as bad. And that's one thing that I'm kind of worried about is a lot of Republicans are kind of reflexively going back to we need to go in there, we need to bomb them, we need to reinvade them. You know, of course they're angry with the Taliban, and that's rightfully so. They're angry with the Biden administration for botching the pullout, and rightfully so. But they're kind of reverting back to the Bush era policies, the Bush era mindset. If we have to go there, we have to invade them. The fact of the matter is we invaded them for 20 years, and the Taliban is stronger than ever. So why are we staying there? What are we going to do? We're going to be there. We're going to keep more people there. People there. They're going to keep dying for years and years to come. More billions of dollars down the drain. And if you look at the Afghanistan papers, which were published actually by the Washington Post, they did some good reporting for once. Of course, it didn't stay in the media for long, but it was reported, and it showed how all the Pentagon generals behind the scenes admitted that the war was a failure, but they wouldn't say it in public because they cared more about getting that job with the defense contractors or getting that promotion, getting that prestige than they did supporting the troops and being honest with the American people. So this is the deep state at work. And I'm worried that, they're botching this on purpose. And very well may be that the Biden administration is incompetent, but they may be botching this on purpose to bring dangerous so-called refugees over here or to create a new impetus for reinvasion. So we have to make the point that this war was a disaster, it was a failure. And the lesson to be learned here is we don't ever start a war like this again, because it'll just be another disaster that helps nobody except defense contractors and Pentagon swap rats.
Yeah, I agree. And that's why I'm trying to get off YouTube, because I want to speak the truth, and call it exactly how it is. Once you research for 10 plus years, people been doing this for 20 plus years. A lot of the citizen journalists been deep researched, well researched, and can clearly see what's going on. And the media is telling us the opposite of what's going on. And we can't even speak out on it without getting censored. So yeah, man, I agree.
Yeah, the media is the enemy of the American people. The magnitude of the deception is just beyond belief. But and going back to Afghanistan for a moment here, at best this was an absolutely colossal fuck up on the part of the military. But I'm reminded of a quote, I forget who said it, but someone made the point, when it comes to administering justice and defending the country and protecting liberty, the government couldn't possibly be more incompetent. But if the agenda was to oppress the people, to steal from people, to squander their money, the government couldn't be more competent.
Right.
And
right.
That's a good point. And I know, Logik, you can probably speak to this a little bit, but it does seem like when they want to do something evil or malevolent, they get a whole lot more competent. They can pull something like that off much better because there's the will there to do it than to actually help the people. And that's why you see stuff like coups overseas and clandestine operations and all these experiments they've done behind the scenes. All this stuff's been done pretty well. But then we get this blundering, incompetent Congress we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? If their mission was to get Americans killed, to us, it's a big failure. To them, they succeeding in their agenda. Look at Black Lives Matter, how they use them to destroy the country. To us, we like, this is a disaster. To them, they like, yes, our plan is working perfectly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they evil, pushing an evil agenda. And that's why when I confront them face to face over the phone, text message, I tell them straight like it is. You a swamp creature. You know what I'm saying? You serve the devil. Y'all being exposed. We know what y'all do. I don't care what you say. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could talk all that. It ain't about what you say. It's about what you do. And, I destroy them with no fear, with the word of God, with courage, with knowledge and wisdom, like we supposed to do, because it's a war going on. It's a spiritual war, and it manifests into reality, and we out here battling these evil demons, and ain't no I don't sugarcoat it, so I'm excited to get involved in Michigan and try to cause an impact in my local communities and network with other people who are doing the same thing,
Yep. Well, they're spreading the truth is one of the big things. And then I would say another big thing is going to be recruiting candidates, finding the right people to run for these seats. Because, it's like they say, power exists in a vacuum. If you don't have it, somebody else does. And if we don't have patriots running for every seat up and down the ticket, then can't beat something with nothing. And frankly, every election, how many elections have you had where you look on the ballot and you see candidates in races you didn't even know about, races for judge, races for school board. They're everywhere.
Right.
Yeah. It's all
about. My big hope is that, there's so many people who are active and engaged about, critical race theory and mask mandates at the school board, these mothers who are just outraged, many of whom probably never really trusted the government, but had just were so busy with everything in their lives, going about their lives, raising their kids. Now they are activated. They are enraged. They know what's going on. Their eyes are being opened. And I really hope that these mothers will stay engaged and kind of take this on as their cause. And we see these mothers start running for school board, city council, state rep, state senate, on up. And then once these people get involved and once they get experience, we can be able to see that, who the best leaders are and kind of promote them up the pipeline. This is what the left's done. Think of all their grassroots activism, their community organizing. We used to be a punchline, but now we see that this is how they've taken over the country. So how are we going to be able to take it back? Obviously, we have no institutional power anymore, if we ever did. What we have to do is, from the grassroots level up, just work harder, grow our base of local power. And that's the way it's done. It's not done by any silver magical bullet. You have to work harder than the opposition, than the rhinos and the Democrats and anyone else at the grassroots level. And if you're involved, if you're dialed into the movement right now, you see a lot of potential there. You see people just rising up out of nothing, wanting to be leaders. And we have to, as you said, Logik, we have to network and we have to shepherd these people and give them good tactics so that we don't blow this opportunity, because it could be the last opportunity to save our country.
Definitely. And if people do that stuff, then it don't matter. It's not like it don't matter if Trump come back. You know what I'm saying? If we get involved, we done lost the control. We can regain control. Trump woke everybody up and to the what was going on, but it's our responsibility to be involved, and keep them honest, keep tabs on them. And they done slowly infiltrated and invaded. But like you say, the people are waking up more and more every day, and we know what's on the line. So we won't stop, and just got to keep pushing.
Yep.
And you got to keep pushing through the propaganda. A lot of the propaganda they're putting out there is to break our spirits, to atomize us, to isolate us. We can't allow that to happen. We have to fight through that. We have to rebuild community. We're having a lot of events in my district where we're just trying to bring in new people, show them that this movement is, vibrant, that, we are not going to be broken by these people, that we're the happy warriors fighting for liberty, just as our forefathers did. So that's what we have to do. And it's been a success, and we're getting more and more people. We're getting more and more information on people, finding out how people want to lead. And it's all very encouraging. And, we just have to be the ones who have to get it going.
Yeah. It's exciting, man. It's exciting.
So I was wondering, because you were at that rally and I was too. I didn't even see that fight that happened. I was kind of far in the back and didn't see. But what was your take on that whole event in Stand Up Michigan? Because I don't want to beat this to death on our channel, because we've done a couple of videos about this already. But I was just curious what your take on this is, because they've been kind of positioned themselves as like the cream of the crop grassroots organization in Michigan, and it's not a contest or anything, but some of the stuff that they were saying and doing, I was like, man, this is not a good look for us.
Coming on to that scene, I was unfamiliar with stand up at all. I was enjoying the event. I'm a mighty man of God, so it was all nice. It was gospel music playing and prayer and all that, and so I'm like, man, this is nice, and all the people patriots. And then when that started to unfold, me and Patty McMurray was right next to each other recording, and she had asked me to check her site and make sure she was streaming. So I had clicked over, I clicked off my recording and check her thing, and then the event unfolded. But Tammy got a mic to her husband, and it seemed like soon after that was calling the men up into the crowd, and I didn't know about what was going on with him and Elliot. I didn't even know Elliot at that time, or Tammy, or her husband, or nobody. So he was calling people up into the crowd. He like, you got something to say, come up here and say it. And I'm like, shoot, I'm about to go up there. And
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
me like, Ryan, no. She like, no, Ryan. I'm like, he calling people up there.
Yeah.
Patty like, stop. I'm like, man, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, they clashing right next to us, like 5 feet away. And all that stuff happened. You know what I'm saying? So it happened quick, and I didn't know what was going on at the time. Since then, I've learned a lot from a lot of different stories, a lot of different sides. You
Yeah.
know, of course, you know, everybody heard Tammy's side on my channel, and you know, Eric Elliott came on and told his side. You know, I done heard Cindy's side. I done heard a lot of different. Well, I done
Yeah.
heard a lot of people's sides. You know,
Well, that's good
over
though.
you know, so still learning and trying to figure it all out. But man, a lot of people coming to the same conclusions, and you know,
Yeah.
yeah. So
I've just, I don't know. I feel like I've had my fill of rallies for now, if you know what I mean. I mean, I remember back when the lockdowns first started, it felt like you had to do it because you had to break the spell. You know, everyone was just so isolated. But it's like, you know, like I remember
yeah, I enjoy
thinking,
the rallies. You know, I enjoy us all getting together. But it seemed like the leadership at the top. You know what I'm saying? Like that with Stand Up Michigan, it's a lot of grassroots organizations and activists that's speaking out against them. They think it's some corruption going on. I've been trying to hear and dig and figure out what's going on so we can all try to get to the bottom of the division, you
yeah,
know. But they a lot of people saying it's corruption at the top, you know, and from what I'm gathering, that's what it sounds like, you know, and uh
well,
it's you know, just it is what it is. I don't want to focus on the drama either, but
yeah,
you know, people are trying to get to the bottom of it so we can, you know, just like with the election, how can you move forward if you don't get to the bottom of it? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, you know. I think the truth is gonna come out. The truth is already coming out. The truth is already out, you know, and
yeah,
it's up there. It's up to people to do their own research. You know, people try to put the truth out there. You know, so if you want it, you can find it.
yeah. I mean, as
And I'd
far
like to
as
reiterate.
go
I'd like
ahead.
to reiterate that you know, a lot of very good people are involved with Stand Up Michigan at the
Yeah,
local level, and some of the hardest working activists in Oakland County are Stand Up Michigan affiliated, and there are a lot of good people involved with this. But when you see the leadership at the top, who they have at their rallies, you know, some of the unprofessional behavior that they've engaged in at the rallies, and look, nobody's perfect, but it doesn't seem like they want to atone for the mistakes. It doesn't seem like they want to acknowledge them. It doesn't seem like there's any good faith effort for them to address this and unify the grassroots. And then they say, oh, well, unify the grassroots and just all follow us. That's not acceptable. And coming into local groups and kind of usurping them is not acceptable. So until these sort of behaviors are remedied, you know, people are going to keep looking at Stand Up Michigan with, and not fully trusting them. And, you know, that's going to be a source of disunity. Unfortunately, that's going to be unavoidable. But hopefully, you know, by focusing more, that's kind of the approach of Rescue Michigan, focusing on the local, empowering local activists to be leaders so that they don't have to rely on someone who is, potentially affiliated with big money or with rhinos at the top, that they can just take the tools themselves, hit the ground running, build their own local organizations, and hopefully keep out, infiltrators and co-opters and charlatans the best they can. So I think that's what we have to do is all focus on what we're doing locally, do it the best we can. And, if there are people out there who we don't like, maybe you try not to go to war with them, maybe try to avoid them, and try to, at the very least, keep them from usurping your organization, because, we want to keep local control. We want to build the local leaders. We don't want them to get swallowed up by, big money fronts or fronts that are run by people with big egos.
Yeah.
Exactly, man.
Yep. All politics is local, as they say. And yeah, all we can do is try to lead by example. Just say, here's the things we think you should be focusing on and talking about. But, every group's got their own priorities, and it's all, people have their own personalities. They have their own things they want to work on, and no one's going to agree on everything all the time. That's just the way it is.
Right. Right. You know, and my opinion on it, you know, I think it was a good organization. I think the people in the organization is good. The leadership, I think the dark money that, you know, Tammy tried to say that wasn't nothing wrong with dark money. You know what I'm saying? Now, how can you say ain't nothing wrong with dark money, period? And you know what I'm saying? Like, we know that that's not true. You know what I'm saying? Dark money can encompass all type of dark, evil money. So to say ain't nothing wrong with it is just wrong. You know what I'm saying? And when you know, a lot of people think that it's the money, the big money that's steering the direction of the organization, and that's a problem. You know, so you know, we get to the bottom of this, and then you know, we can you know, figure it out and move forward. But you know, we can't sweep it under the rug and act like dark money ain't bad and they ain't trying to swallow up. It's like, get down or lay down. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to roll with us, then we cutting you off, and everybody in the group is too. You know what I'm saying? Like, what type of leadership is that? What type, that ain't what we're supposed to be doing. So, you know, the truth gonna continue to come out. You know, that's my opinion. I ain't afraid to say it. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking to please the Lord, not anybody else. You know what I'm saying? My wife, my children. As I please the Lord, I'm gonna please the people in my life that's important to me. So, other than worrying about what people think or about what I say, it don't bother me. You know, so we are, you know, we fighting out.
Yep.
And speaking on dark money for a minute, absolutely is a problem that, you know, unaccountable, you know, left wing or subversive or corporate interests that don't have what's the best intention for the people come in and buy operations and deceive people. That certainly happens a lot with the way the rules are written right now. But at the same time, though, the point that I know Adam has made before is that donors, if their names are publicly out there, if they're conservatives, that will allow them to be attacked by the left. The left will come after conservative donors and try to dox them and destroy their businesses and do boycotts in them and stuff along those lines. So there's a bit of a debate here that could be had. We need to protect the privacy of conservative donors, but at the same time, you don't want to allow an avalanche of corporate money, PAC money, whatever you want to call it, to come in and swallow up organizations. Adam, would you like to comment on that?
Well, I just think the main issue is you've got to be able to show that you're spending the money effectively. You know, I mean, it's one thing, you know, it's okay to raise money from people and not to tell the whole planet who's supporting you. But the question is the money being spent wisely? And I think it's, you know, by their fruits you will know them. You know, you'll see what they're actually doing out there. Are they getting the word out about things? Are they holding politicians accountable? Are they actually going to deliver some pain in political season? Or are they going to protect the rhinos? I mean, we'll see that when we see it. So anyway,
yeah,
I want to put sorry, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna finish up. Some people, you know, like she tried to say that where the money come from ain't important. Look at what we're doing with it. But you know, where the money come from does matter. You know, if this is coming from human trafficking or drugs, it matters. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter what you do with the drug money. You know what I'm saying? You know, it can be drug money. It don't, as long as you're doing something good with it. No, you know what I'm saying? And then for the conservatives who don't want to be attacked, I mean, that go both ways. The Democrats who donate and shouldn't be, you know, they're gonna be attacked as well. But you know, I understand not wanting everybody to know your business, but if it come down to it, if you ain't hiding nothing, then there should be some transparency involved somehow, you know. Right.
Well, hey man, I want to put your channel on the screen so people can see it and they can subscribe to your YouTube channel. And I always forget to mention to our audience, but if you're watching this, be sure you subscribe to our channel too. But here, I'm going to put your channel up on the screen here. Shane, sorry, I gotta blur you out here just because I don't have any easy way to move to the other part of the screen. But it's Logik's View on YouTube. You can see there's the address up there. I don't know if there's a way to make it easier to see, but obviously you can just pause the screen if you want and head over to there. So Logik's View on YouTube, go check it out, guys. And yeah, anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
No, man, I'm just glad to be joining in. Y'all been in this battle in Michigan longer than me, and it's nice to be uniting and networking and joining together. And yeah, man, keep doing what y'all doing, and I look forward to our future communications and whatnot.
Right on, man. Yeah, it's great to have you on the show, and we're happy to go on yours sometime too. So thanks again for joining us tonight, and to our viewers, as always, thanks for all that you guys do for liberty. Till next time, peace.
Peace.